Two of the best girls basketball teams in state line history were the Freeport Aquin teams that won back-to-back state championships in 2012 and 2013.
I remember them well. They were coached by Jeff Curry, and they had great players like Aubrey Chang, Ellen Brunner, Haley Chang, Elena Erdmeyer, and Katie Steekel. And they had the young woman who, in my opinion, is the best all-around girls basketball player I've ever seen from our area, Sophie Brunner. She could play any position, 1 through 5. She had size, which made her tough in the post on offense and defense, and a force on the boards. And she could handle the ball like a point guard. She could run the floor. She had great vision and a very high basketball IQ. After Aquin, she went on to start Arizona State. Then she played professionally, briefly in the WNBA, and then for several seasons overseas. Now Brunner is on the coaching staff at Rockford Christian. This spring, her Aquin teams will be inducted into the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. So I felt this was a good time to sit down with Brunner and reminisce about those teams and get her thoughts on more current basketball topics. First of all, congratulations on your Aquin teams getting selected for induction into the Hall of Fame. I think it was 12 years ago you won the second championship. How vividly do you remember those times with those Aquin teams?
Honestly, they're really, I really remember them pretty clearly. They were some of the best times of my life. Those are some of my favorite teams I've ever played on just because they're with my best friends that I grew up with my whole life that I'm still really close with. So those games are very clear in my mind.
And you've achieved so many things in your career at all levels, but how special are those two state championships to you?
They're really special, just with the people we did it with and how we did it. I just feel like we did it the right way. We didn't have, much selfishness going on. We all wanted it for each other. Nobody really cared how much time they played. We just wanted to win. Nobody cared about points. Nobody cared. And that wasn't ever a conversation. And I think it started with our coach, with Jeff Curry, who obviously has now passed away, but he kind of had that camaraderie around him. Like, I don't care, what you think this culture should be. This culture is going to be how it should be ran, and that's the right way. And we were all really lucky to have good coaches growing up.
How emotional did you get last year when you heard Aquin wasn't going to be able to continue with its high school program?
Honestly, I think the biggest word to describe it, which I think everyone would kind of agree with, is just the disappointment. Just because if we know what it was when we were there, obviously things have gone into the decision of why, and I totally understand it. It's just disappointing because it was a great school when I was there. And athletics were obviously great. We had great teachers who really cared about us and a good community of parents. And I really am sad for those younger kids that went to our games when we were in high school and they just didn't get that same experience. So for me, it's really sad, and just to know how it was done the right way. And the community of Aquin itself is just an incredible place to be brought up in.
You traveled the country playing for Arizona State in college, then you experienced a great part of the world as a professional. Yet here you are back where your roots were first planted in Northern Illinois, and we're happy about it, and you're coaching the girls here at Rockford Christian. What kept you here, and how much fun are you having as a coach now?
I think a big thing is just family. Being away, I was honestly away for about 7 years, just 4 years in college and 3 years playing pro. I missed out on so much. So just being close to family and my close friends was a huge deal. I honestly never thought I would stay around here, but it worked out. When COVID happened, I didn't go back overseas, so I kind of decided to be done when that happened. And then I got into teaching and got my master's, so it was kind of a leeway with that, and then naturally got into coaching. I never thought I would want to be a coach. But I did AU during the summer when I played pro, and I liked it, so I ended up being a high school assistant varsity and JV coach, and now I really enjoy it. And I just want to give girls what I was given growing up, which is great support, great teaching, but just little things like fundamentals, not all this craziness that you see different things being taught, just teaching it the right way, but in the right culture with really good people around you.
What's the biggest piece of advice you would have for a freshman, sophomore, 8th grader, 7th grader playing ball? Is there one thing, the common denominator, that you always want to emphasize to kids of that age?
Just have fun. I think a lot of times right now, kids just have so much pressure on them. And I think, you can blame a kid, but kids learn that from adults. They aren't born with that. So I just really hope for kids that they, one, know how to work hard and do it often, be the best worker out there, the hardest worker, and have fun. Because if the game isn't fun for you, you're not going to be able to play it for a long time.
The popularity of women's basketball at the college and professional level has just skyrocketed over the last year and a half or so. Do you think that's here to stay, and how encouraged are you to see so many people embracing now women's basketball?
Honestly, it's really exciting, and I know there's obviously the there's controversy with it all in the sense of why people watch it. You know, I'm the type of person, I'm just happy they're watching it. So I don't care if they're watching it because of Caitlin Clark. I don't care if they're watching it because of Angel Reese. I believe that they're watching it because of all of them. I think a big pull was Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, the different ones that, you know, really brought attention to it the last couple of years. But my opinion on it is I'm just glad people are watching it. It's a great sport, and girls are working really hard. It's nothing to take away from guys, but I think people are just really into girls basketball right now, and the popularity of it is really awesome. And with that, I just hope it sustains it. I think it can. I just think as adults and as people who are really impacting, especially girls in basketball, we have to do it the right way.
I'll tell you, Sophie has so much to offer with her basketball background and knowledge. She is a great mentor for young people. So I would encourage any young person out there, try to be around Sophie, whether it's at a clinic or a camp or school, wherever you can.
She could have lived anywhere in the world after playing all over the world, but she came home to the state line. That's pretty neat.
Yep.